What do Project Stargate and MK Ultra and Operations Northwoods and Mockingbird have in common? Think spies, intrigue, conspiracies, undercover ops. Think CIA. Do these projects and operations grab your attention? Well, Harry S. Truman had this to say about the CIA. I would have never agreed to the formulation of the Central Intelligence Agency back in '47 if I had known it would become the American Gestapo. Here in the next few minutes, I'll be defining the CIA and its mission statement, discuss the requirements there are to join the CIA, and highlight some of the agency's more controversial programs. According to CollinsEnglishDictionary.com, the CIA, or Central Intelligence Agency, is the agency in the United States that collects secret information about other countries. The agency's mission, according to CIA.gov, is to collect, analyze, evaluate, and disseminate foreign intelligence to covert actions, as directed by the President of the United States. In essence, the President is the overall director of the agency. Hearing CIA may make us think of spies such as Mata Hari or Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. It is true that the agency does spy on other countries, but the CIA also does more than just spy. But before I get to that, let me discuss some of the requirements there are to join the CIA, in case you decide to become an agent. According to CIA.edu, the basic requirements to join the CIA include being a citizen of the United States who is 18 years old or older with a bachelor's degree and a 3.0 GPA or higher. Agents also need strong interpersonal skills, a knowledge of international affairs, and the ability to write clearly. The agency also prefers candidates who have traveled abroad, know a foreign language, and are sensitive to other cultures. Next, I'll be discussing some of the CIA's more controversial programs. The CIA has had dozens of controversial programs, but today I'll be outlining 4 of them. According to the book, The Search for the Manchurian Candidate by John Mars and History.com, Project MKUltra was a mind control program lasting from 1953 to 1974. The CIA used the drug LSD, a hallucinogenic, to control the minds of over 150 men they were testing on. Agents paid prostitutes to lure men into CIA safe houses where they were to be tested without their consent. One possible example of this mind control was at the assassination of Bobby Kennedy at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles in 1968, when he was running for president. The assassin Sirhan Sirhan, a Palestinian man, had no recollection of the event and claimed to be part of the MKUltra program. The following 2 projects I'll be discussing today came at a time where the U.S. was afraid of Russia and Russia's influence on Cuba. The Cold War between the U.S. and Russia was at its peak. Fidel Castro was the dictator of Cuba, and tensions between the U.S. and Cuba were rising. The CIA plotted against Cuba in Operation Northwoods by planning to commit an act of terrorism in the United States and blame this terrorist act on Cuba. Essentially, the United States was going to commit an act of terrorism, believing this could cause U.S. support for a war with Cuba. Thankfully, JFK rejected the idea. I got this information from maryfell.org in her article, Preserving the Legacy. Years later, in 1972, the CIA created the Stargate project to spy on Russia. The CIA hired people with ESP, or extrasensory perception abilities, such as intuition, telepathy, psychometry, clairvoyance, and precognition to use remote viewing on Russia. Remote viewing means spying from a distance. The program was shut down in 1995. The final program that I will be discussing today, in Operation Mockingbird, involved the CIA's manipulation of the media using propaganda, or as we say today, fake news. In the early 1970s, the CIA started bribing well-established journalists, and reporters to write what the agency told them to. A former director of the CIA at that time, William Colby, said, "The Central Intelligence Agency owns everyone of any major significance in the major media." Some of the news outlets that the CIA owned at that time included CBS, Time, the New York Times, ABC, and NBC. The program was exposed in 1972 due to the Watergate scandal, but was never shut down. In fact, according to schoolhistory.com, as of 2016, more than $1 billion per year was invested into the propaganda program. In conclusion, we know the CIA has had a dark, secretive, and very controversial past. They have been at the root of numerous covert actions, way more than I've discussed today. I'll leave you here with a quote by President George H.W. Bush, a former director of the CIA from 1966 to 1967. "If the people were to ever find out what we've done, we'd be chased down the streets and lynched." Thank you.